Welcome back to the channel, and today we're just going to go over some project updates. Got a little update from the West Coast, and yeah, I was trying to get a body painted, but it didn't happen. Just simply ran out of time. So anyways, let's turn the camera around and see what we got going on. All right, let's see what we got on the shelf over here. Clodbuster with the J Concepts regulator chassis, Proline shocks. It has the J Concepts printed gearboxes. I don't know all the advantages of these gearboxes other than it's supposed to give you a little more steering, but we're going to have to put the tribute wheels on there to get the wheels out a little bit further. But from what I understand, these are not easy to get now because those were made from Shapeways, and Shapeways doesn't exist right now. Got the J Concepts 27 turn motors. I guess this is like a sport mod class. I'm not sure what the classes are, but it's kind of retro, but with hop-ups. There's our Mini T late model and the Big Bear that were sold on eBay today, so congratulations and thank you. Vintage pan cars. Go back and look at all the rig rundowns. We cover all that. The mini truck is still mini trucking. I wanted to update the sand car, but I'm not sure. It might just be just as easy to build another one. Moved a crawler out here to get some more room in the room. Room in the room. That sounds right. The Ultimate / 4x4 with the Megalodon body. Nothing's done to it other than the Losi Baja Ray tires and J Concepts wheels. They're a little bit, quite a bit taller than the stock wheels, so I'm probably have to gear it down so we don't overheat it. New door handle for the mini truck. My door handle's broke right there, just a little bit. It's about to break off if you pull it wrong, so painted that up the other day at work. Random bodies. A lot of those are vintage oval stuff. Sand bug that goes to the beach all the time. Dale Earnhardt go-kart. I've always wanted to put like copy grade electronics in it, so that might be a future thing. We added a few bodies to the wall of retired oval bodies. All of those are mine except for two. One of them was from a buddy. I bought his car and a couple things, and that was from my buddy that passed away a few years ago. But other than that, they're all my number twos for the most part. Vintage Google again. We need to go through some of these old magazines. I got magazines back to the 80s. And a lot of them were well, they're all my magazines. These are all the magazines that I bought from a kid till now. A mixture of truck magazines and RC magazines. The room that needed more room. I got my brother's oval project. I just got to put a servo in it, and we're going to go do some testing tuning on that one. Hopefully, I keep saying next week, but next week comes around and we don't seem to find the time to do it. But next week, hopefully, get that on the track, shake it down. That is a GT car that was donated by one of our viewers out of Florida, and we're going to try to make it turn left. I think it'll do just fine with breakout speeds. They're not real fast. Chris's A&L trailing arm RC10. That is, we have to get that one done for the vintage race that's coming up in January, so we still got a little bit of time. But January will be here before you know it. I got two different bodies. We got the stock Protect body, and then we got the J Concepts Mirage body. I'm going to paint them both kind of, probably more retro on this one, and this one a little more modern / retro. My RC10 that ran in Florida. I haven't run it since. Hopefully get it back on the track soon. We wrapped up the Scorpion, and we added the neon antenna, whip antennas to it. Those things are a little pricey. They're like $30 a piece, and you have to buy them individually. They look really cool at night. I'll post a picture here, but it has to be dark. They don't show up real good in the under fluorescent lights at all. What else we got going? We moved the cartoon body in here just to get it off the shelf out there. My buddy David's Monte Carlo that I need to finish the interior. The comical grasshopper, we got a new body, we got bearings, we got UJs for it. I think to race it, they have to be stock, but I think the UJs might be okay, maybe. We'll find out. We may not race it. We're just going to build it and play with it. They have a class at the vintage race coming up in January for the Willie class, and I think it has to be stock. And my T2 still hasn't got paint or electronics in it. I am going to run that car, truck. Somebody made a comment on one of the RC10 pages on Facebook saying it would never see dirt, but I do run my stuff and it will get run along with the Schumacher eventually. Yeah, so let's hop off and we'll go over the, I'm going to change the camera here and we'll go over the trifecta of crawlers we got here. Alright, here's my buddy Eric's collection of super nice crawlers. None of them have seen dirt yet, but that's going to happen here pretty soon. The VRD, there's a build video, there's a paint video, a couple little tips and tricks. We got the flat clear on it, and we got shiny graphics. That one was going to be my paint video this weekend, but it just didn't happen. A lot going on. We got busy lives just like anybody. That is the Element new comp box that we just finished up. I did get all the electronics in it. It's a tight fit, as you can see. I had to place the receiver over just to get the body to fit, so everything has its place. This thing is obviously not set up to be waterproof, so Eric don't like going in water much. I don't particularly. I like to drive in a scale manner. I don't like to go submerged in water, but most of my crawling videos I end up in the water. This one, obviously, unless we seal that receiver up, we're not going underwater. Plus, it has this outrunner motor, and I don't know how well they do getting wet. Probably not. This was an interesting build if you hadn't watched the build video. It's a cool truck, very nice, got some very cool features. Just the instructions, the coloring on the instructions makes it a little bit more difficult. It's definitely kind of a pro level instructions, but it's a pro level vehicle, super nice. Heard some good, bad, and different things about it, so we'll find out soon enough. That will be a crawling video with all three of them, and my base camp will be there because that's the only one I have. The only thing I don't really like about this truck, other than fighting the instructions a little bit, is the body mount situation. They're just held in with pins, so they're all kind of floppy. But once the body's pinned down and sitting where it goes, once you got the pins in it and it sits on the sliders, it's not really rattling around too much. And I guess if you're going scale, you'd probably mount it a different way, maybe Velcro or something, so it wouldn't have body pins going through the hood. More of a comp crawler, so not really scale. I do like the scale look. I may do something different on mine when I do a new body. We may do something where it don't have body pins sticking up. So that'll be coming up on a paint video. This one has already been a subject of, it's been months since we've done this one. We haven't run it yet. Very awesome truck. The latest one is the SCX10 Pro. That's the chassis kit. The body's just sitting there. That's the, I think it's the Creeper body from J Concepts. Rock 420 or 412 motor. RS4, RX4 speed controller. Same speed controller that we're running in the Vanquish. Only thing I see, Chris built this one, my buddy Chris, that also contributes with the channel. The only thing that I see that we both kind of noticed today, he noticed it building it, was the spur gear and dog bone drive system here. Even with this upgraded aluminum cross member here, the bearing has a little bit of play, like side to side play. The whole thing's moving. It's not just the spur on a slipper or spur on the mount. The whole unit. I don't think it's going to be a problem because these things aren't high speed anyways, and it's never going to get cocked out of the whack too bad to strip a gear, I don't think. Other than that, we need to raise the servo. As you can see, the servo is hanging down below the axle. It's going to get hit either way, but we don't want it in direct line of an obstacle or a rock. So we'll put, I guess, about 6-8 millimeter spacer underneath the servo. And the only thing that's going to do, that's going to limit our up travel. We're going to end up, instead of going that high, we're going to be able to go about that high. But it's not going to affect the flex It shouldn't affect it at all, really. But we want to get that thing out of the line of fire. We don't get the nice servo there beat all the crap. It's still going to get hit. It's still under there, exposed. But that's just the price you pay for having a low center of gravity and a slick bottom on a truck. This one is very cool. Out of the three, this is probably it's a tight between the two. I really like this. I like the Axial products. Got brass axle weights or out drives. I like straight axle trucks myself. I think they're a little more scale looking versus a portal. Both of these are portals. I think that's Element's new portal axle. I think. But this thing's super plush, squishy, feels really good. Just that little thing there and raising the servo is the only concerns I have. All of them have Vanquish wheels. I don't know what tires these are. I didn't build this one. Lamprey. I don't know what they are. Rock crawler tire. Made by Extreme Root. It does have a shifter servo. I guess the dig's engaged right there because we got a freewheeling rear axle. We got a little shifter servo here for high and low, I believe. So evidently the rear is not engaged. I hadn't messed with the shifting transmission much. Yeah, there you go. Now we're four-wheel all the way. Got to keep that in mind when I bind the radio up. So the only thing we got to do to this one is throw the receiver in it and bind it up and set all the servo endpoints. We got to set that one up. It's ready to fire up. I got to put a plug on the speed controller. Yeah, so there's our triple threat of the highest end or higher end crawlers that are available right now. I was taking a very exciting video, but I didn't have time to paint, so I had to squeeze this in. We did upgrade our radio. My buddy Steve at OAS Custom Classics made me a really good deal on the new M17. It's not new, but very fresh and clean. So we will be upgrading our race equipment anyways. I'm still sticking with Spectrum and all of my, I wouldn't say I don't really have bashers, but my runaround cars or the crawler will probably stay Spectrum for now because I got so many Spectrum receivers. I got 4 receivers with that, so that'll go in my RC10, my 10T, and probably in the Schumacher. Whatever we plan on racing in January, we'll have the Samoa radio. All right, hiding back here, we do have a Arma Mojave Grom. I haven't done any kind of unboxing during that event last week at the hobby shop that I have a video for where they were jumping and doing drifting and everything. These things were selling like hotcakes that day, and I went ahead and grabbed one because we're going to go, if all works out, we're going to go down to Florida next month to the Exoplex and run the Grama Palooza at Exo Cage's place. I'll put a link to his channel. I haven't reached out to him to tell him that we're coming for sure because I got so much going on around. It's hard to be totally locked in on a plan yet, but we do have somewhere to stay, and we have the event coming up, and I think I'm going to take Eric down there. He hasn't been to Florida yet, so we're going to take that and the Losi NASCAR. We got one of those up there. He's got a little concrete track, and he's got an off-road track, and I think he's known for his crawling stuff. I've just been recently watching his channel, and he's been doing a lot of newer stuff and doing a lot of stuff with the Losi NASCARs. But from what I understand, he's got a pretty cool crawling course down there too, so part of his Exoplex. So that's going to be cool to be part of that. And we do have another 10T body that's going to be going north of the border. We're going to do another conglomeration with another channel. I will announce that once we get a chance to work on it. I got to be careful talking too much because I'll end up getting myself obligated in more than I can do. But we're going to try to work together and do some things. At least we're going to start with that. We did do a project last month, if y'all watched the speed runs. There's your hint. But I don't do bodies for the general public anymore. I used to. With working a full-time job, YouTube is not enough income to justify walking away from that job. Plus, I don't have the time that I did back in the past. Back in probably 10, 15 years ago, I was painting a body every single day. I averaged about 300 a year. Um, and I've only got to a certain quality level. I have not got to where these guys are doing these crazy graphics, and they have gone well beyond what I've ever achieved. But I know my role. I know what I'm capable of. I'm capable of stuff like this. I like to do kind of clean. Then I like to kind of do kind of 90s stuff. Of course, mini truck stuff because I'm all about some mini trucks. I am that era. I am a 90s kid. Wasn't born in the 90s, but I went to high school in the 90s. So all that cool stuff was, all the neon stuff was all about. I was all about it in the 90s. I gave Chris the little recoil over here. I got a motor and speed controller. I think we're going to put in it. We might get it where it'll run, but I don't want to bang it into anything because you cannot find a body for it, or let alone parts. There's a few on eBay, but not much. Off the hip video today. Normally I try to do something like this for my members. So if you do want to be a member, just click that membership. And if you're on an iPhone or Apple products, I think you have to go to a desktop version to see the button. It's just a little join button. And that join button gives you early access. We've got some plans for some giveaways. I've already gave a car away on my memberships, and I've only got 9 members. I give a car away within the first 6 months of being on having the memberships. We got one fellow out there in the Midwest that comments on everything and follows all of our social media. And it wasn't much of a drawing since we only had 9 guys. I figured I wanted to give it to one of our most diehard fans, and I gave it to him without a drawing, and everybody was understanding. But I didn't want to make it look rigged. I just said, this is what I'm doing. So, but going forward, we may do some raffles. I got to figure out how to do all that. I'm not the most technologically advanced, but we'll try to figure out do the waffle raffle thing. And like I said, I'm not going to take orders on bodies. We might paint some bodies and we'll raffle them off, or we might do some more cars in the future. I built a complete car, painted a body, did a whole video series on the Hyundai Dart. Go back and check on that, and we gave it away. It was all brand new stuff. It wasn't the high dollar stuff, but it was all brand new. It was a pretty good car. All right, so that's a wrap up of this week's video. Stay tuned. Next week we'll probably be painting this one. Another paint video coming up. And again, I keep saying next week on the oval, we're going to go back to the oval track and run the GT car. And a little quick update on my brother. He's sending me some stuff from out west, and we're on the opposite ends of the country here. So he's wanting to crack into this a little bit, and he's I think I inspired him a little bit to do some videos, and he has done us a few little clips, and he just picked up a new Mini Z. We're thinking about building a Mini Z track out here. That would be awesome for the winter months. But anyways, here's a little quick update from him. Just stay tuned for that, and we'll see you next week. Paint time. Thanks.
Okay, quick update. So I got the Mini Z out to the hobby shop today, and as everybody knows, you got to take all your stuff to the hobby shop, right? Mike, by the way. And the Mini Z is so small and just easy to get around that I didn't want to take a big giant container and take up a bunch of table space. So I'm using my Buc-ee's lunchbox. And just to see how convenient it is, there's the controller. Here's the car. Got a little stand for it. And on Amazon, I'm not endorsing Amazon and I'm not sponsored by them, but they have these cool EBL battery chargers, rechargeable AAAs, AA's in the same charger. And you get a set of 16 batteries. You need 8, 4 for the car, 4 for the controller. And there's a little charger cord, plugs right in, and yeah, works really great. They fast charge. I had a set charging while I was practicing. Didn't get any footage practicing because I was by myself, and it started to get pretty busy. I went in about 2 hours before racing started. Racing starts at 6 p.m. at Silverdale Hobbies. But I wanted to get in and get familiar with the car And I did do an upgrade. All my tools fit in here, but where'd it go? So here's the front and rear tires that are stock. Those are stock. And the rubber compound is pretty basic. It doesn't even work very well on a hard floor. It's a soft-ish rubber, and carpet racing kind of jams up the axles and things like that. So if you're going to buy a Mini Z, you're going to chuck those, and you're going to get these upgraded super soft stiff sidewall wheels from your hobby shop, and it makes it drive 100 times better. It's day and night. There's a little bit of tread on the tire, but you're just worried about compound. It's a super soft compound. The Mini Z racetrack is actually those workout mats that you can get, and they just stick them together and run the foam walls around it, and it's all soft walls. I didn't upgrade the body yet, but they do have upgrade kits for that, and I'm going to upgrade that and do some graphics on it, so look out for that. But I just wanted to give you a quick update. Drove the Mini Z today on the track, and with the upgraded wheels and tires, drives like crazy better. I don't have a timer in it yet because I'm not racing, just getting familiar with the kit. Got to be honest, with the upgraded tires, it turns so quick and so fast. Had to make a steering adjustment on the controller, and it's still not 100%, but as the racers started to come in to get their practice in and get ready for racing, track got kind of busy. So what I'm going to do is go up to the hobby shop, probably not long after they open. The owner, John, there says, just, hey, I bought the kit there, bring it on in. Track time is yours. And I'm buying all my kits and parts there. So he's pretty cool about just letting you run. So I'm going to go up and just burn through batteries and get lots of track time and get more familiar with this kit. Yeah. So we won't be running this Toyota body too much longer. I saw a front suspension upgrade kit on the wall there, so I may get that just to make it drive a little better, but just a little. The kit is all plastic suspension, and the upgrade kit is aluminum machine parts. Makes it a little more firm, a little better feedback. So maybe we'll get that next time we go in, and I'll update you on that as well. Maybe we'll get some track time video. So yeah, these things are deceivingly fast, and this is just a stock motor. They have upgrade motors, upgrade driveline, suspension, programmable ESCs, all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to keep it stock as far as that goes, with maybe an upgraded front suspension. But other than that, that's the quick update we got on track. All right, stay tuned.